Hello all you wonderful, beautiful, and craptastic people. CraptasticJack here. Today, we're starting off with City Skylines, and today we're going to be starting on a new map, new city. Today we're going to be starting Inglewood, and this is actually going to be the first episode. Today we're just going to be laying out the basic framework of downtown and some buildings and stuff, and getting some highways, like redone stuff. I'm using the Baltimore map, and basically, even though it's the Baltimore map, I'm not going to necessarily make it off Baltimore. We're just going to create a city, hopefully in the vein of northeastern United States cities, and hopefully we can actually get this City Skylines thing off the ground. So yes, without further interruptions, let us begin. Right, so here basically I'm redoing a lot of the highways in this map already. I'm going to be going, like, along as we do the same, I'm going to be redoing the highways. I go through it, mainly because they kind of look a lot really jaggy and stuff, and I just want to redo them to my taste. And I'm just kind of be fighting with the bridge controls here for a bit, but I'm going to be redoing the highways right here. And yeah, I have to move it a lot to scale them down a bit. But other than that, I'm just redoing the highways, and by then, after I do the highways, I'm going to start building like the actual foundation for downtown. I originally wanted to put downtown like where actual downtown Baltimore is, but the map's just way too hilly for that, and all the high rises be on a very hilly area, and I kind of need like a plain type of landscape for what I want to do with the downtown. So there's that. And then you see here, like, the bridge is something I really don't like. It just kind of like edges out. Thankfully, we have Move It, probably one of the best mods for City Skylines. I mean, there's a lot of things. Like, I don't imagine how we played City Skylines. Like, people like me who are like very autistic, who need shit like to be perfectionists. Like, I don't know how we did it without Move It. And as you can see here, I'm going to be using it later when I'm building this interchange, which is going to be like an auxiliary interstate that leeches off of the main one going through. And it's going to go into the downtown area a bit. Kind of like how I think it's 395 in Baltimore is. I think that's how it, yeah, it might be 695. It's one of the 95s. It's a auxiliary interstate off of 95 in Baltimore. It's pretty much the same type of deal, only I'm not going to build the downtown necessarily where downtown Baltimore is. I'm going to be building on the other side of the Inner Harbor, and it's not going to be anything. It's not going to look anything like Baltimore. And then aside from this highway there, it's really probably the only kind of resemblance. That in the inner harbor probably gonna be the only real like remnants of Baltimore. Like, when I build my cities, I always like kind of build them off of a bunch of cities. I build them off of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Baltimore, Maryland, Washington D.C., a bit of Boston, a bit of Allentown, Pennsylvania, a bit of Pittsburgh, like a bunch of different like northeast cities, like cities like that, a bit of Wilmington, Delaware. I take inspiration from a lot of cities, and a lot of kind of like in the Lehigh Valley, Philadelphia area, because I'm a native of the Lehigh Valley. So, you know, but mainly my main forte is northeastern cities. Like, I can never get the grasp of doing I tried to do a British city before, I tried to do a European city before. I just can't get the grasp of them, because I always end up building grids, which are a staple of American cities. I just can't make a good city without a grid. That's just how I am. And in a British city, I always get confused building because the traffic's on the wrong side of the road. I always get confused, but as you can see here, I'm kind of quaying in the Inner Harbor here, which is going to be the like centerpiece of my downtown district. I'm going to have the downtown kind of surround the Inner Harbor, if you know what I mean. I'm just filling in some more gaps here, just stuff like that, just minor stuff, detailing. And then once I actually get like expand outwards, I'm gonna finish that quay. I gotta try and get an avenue. I was having a bit of trouble trying to get like an avenue here without it like going way too high and just creating a giant like cliff on the long side, which is something I didn't want, but I kind of had to deal with it anyway. Like, as you can see, yeah, it's way too like huge. It's something I did not want, and we're obviously just gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna go back to that a bit, or maybe, yeah, now I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna kind of like send it off in a bit of a different direction towards the other side of the tunnel that goes under the harbor. yeah, I'm gonna use move it probably. Yeah, I'm gonna use move it to lower this down a bit. Here I was kind of fighting with the bridge controls here. I was trying to get it. It was kind of a bit weird. It was moving up and down at the first part, which is something I obviously didn't want. I needed it to be like a lot smoother. Like right here, it just slopes down at the left side of the bridge, and that's something I did not want. I was trying to fight it with move it, but at the end I just kind of had to deal with it. I made it look a bit better like that. I just kind of left it like that. I'm like, fuck it, it looks alright. Looks good enough. Trust me, it's fine. And then I'm building basically the tram connection to like downtown. I'm gonna have a little tram network going through downtown through the northern part of the city, and just see people can take like the light rail and stuff like that. I'm probably gonna, in the other parts of the city, I'm probably just gonna move it onto its own like light rail system aside from the roads. I'm not gonna keep them on the roads, but just for the sake of having like a little cool thing downtown, a little tram cool car system downtown, might as well just have a little tram system. And then here I'm gonna have like a little access road that goes underneath the interchange here, and then that's gonna lead to a bit of a shadier part of town on the south side of the city. And then here I'm starting to lay the framework for a little road that goes along the inner harbor with the new median that came out with network extensions a couple days ago, which was really cool. I really like the new roads that they added, especially the one-way street parking. I like that feature a lot. And I'm gonna have a little promenade go on along this side of the highway. Sorry, Inner Harbor Highway. And then I'm gonna have like a little shopping like district here, a little like entertainment district, probably something like that around here on this part of downtown. I'm gonna have a little couple of alleys leading to the promenade, because with the promenade, only emergency vehicles and people who have businesses or houses along the promenade can use the promenade. Other than that, it's just people walking. And then I'm figuring this side of downtown's not going to be as developed as the other side of downtown. This is where the inner harbor, what downtown Baltimore is in real life. Like we're all like, it's the proper downtown is. As you can see, the terrain's fighting with me there, so I had to kind of fix it a bit there. But again, I don't know how I survived without terrain tools. I don't know how I survived without a lot of the mods. And this is going to be the eastern part of downtown. I'm going to have a western part here, and then the southern part's going to be on the other side of the inner harbor. And then that's basically where the central business district's going to be located, and that's where most of the high-rise and skyscrapers are going to be located, is in the southern part of downtown. And sometimes my theme manager thing doesn't work, so I have to wait for a bit for that to like decide to work. Just going to put our first building here, put a hospital. And I'm very OCD when it comes to the streetlights. Like most people are fine with the default ones. I'm not. I hate the default streetlights that the game comes with. So I always have to use default streetlights. I have to. Like you won't catch me using any of the older streetlights. And if you do, it's just accident. Like I forgot to do it. Like 9 times out of 10, I will not forget to use. No, 10 times out of 10, there's a very 0.1% chance you won't catch me using the regular street lights. And then here, I guess I'm gonna be laying out the framework for another road that goes alongside the harbor and the river. And we're gonna place this trolley depot there because why not? We need to place it somewhere. And then we're gonna have like a little road here. Goes along the thing. I have a feeling we're gonna put like a park that goes along the edge of the inner harbor, and as well as the river. We got a little park there. I wanna put quite a few parks in the downtown area. I don't just want it to be all skyscrapers and shit. And as you can see right here, I'm putting a park and make it a little nicer so it fits the entire block. And might as well place the county prison, county jail, whatever, or the city jail, whatever you want to call it. And then put a couple more roads here. I'm gonna put a road that goes over the interstate here and connects to 2 parts in downtown. Of course, the depot's already on fire. That's nice. And then place the put a police station there, whatever you want to call it. Plaza looks like shit, really. There, put a couple trees. I mean, I'm not really liking. Yeah, I didn't really like the way the police station was put there, so I'm gonna move it over, fill in some gaps. Like a lot of these like buildings, if it has like really bad edges and cliffs on the side of them, I'm more than likely gonna move it because I hate that. It just doesn't feel realistic. Like I've filled in the gaps there with the parking garage, and it looks 10 million times better. I'm just looking for a building to, like I'm looking for my first like high-rise building. Put that there. Like, it looks alright, and I like looking back on this. I like the way that this building is like alongside the highway. Like, I fill in the open space. I'm gonna detail a lot of like the open spaces later in I think the next episode I'm gonna be detailing a lot of the stuff, like the outside areas, like these blank areas with the gray, because I don't really like any of like the blank areas. I need to detail, and then again, I'm not the best at detailing. I'm actually kind of bad at detailing, but I'll learn along the way. I'm just starting to detail a lot. I've really just started getting into it with like my past couple cities that I've done, and just filling in some parking space here, and just looking at this back on Sony Vegas. I'm redoing this as I'm doing the time lapse. It's really laggy and it's messing with my head, so I'm like, words are just coming out of my mouth. I'm not even thinking of what I'm saying right now. It's just words are just coming out of my mouth right now. It's very interesting. I mean, like, I don't know how to experience it. It's just weird. I'm just placing a couple more buildings here. I think I'm gonna stop talking for a bit and just show a time lapse of me building downtown, filling it up with buildings and stuff. So enjoy the Sim City for music. Right, so far I'm really liking this downtown. Usually when I build cities, I start off with the downtown. I mean, aside from that building, the thing on fire, I really like this downtown. Usually I start off with the downtown. If I don't like the downtown, I usually stop playing the city and I start a new one. But I'm really liking this downtown, so I'm obviously gonna continue with Inglewood. I'm really liking the way I did this downtown, and I definitely will continue. I really especially like this building, like the building near the highway. I really like that. And so far, I'm really liking the way downtown's coming along. With the inner harbor in the middle, it seems really cool. Next episode, I think I'm gonna be detailing a bit of inner harbor. You can tell I pre-recorded this because the audio I recorded with this somehow didn't. It failed to capture. It failed to capture with this part I'm talking about. So you see my mouse moving around at random points. But next episode, I'm gonna focus on detailing a bunch of downtown and working on the rest of the highway system. So yeah, that's all for now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Have a good one.